Hello, everybody. It's Ken Faulkner. Hey, I got a knife here to show you as I'm rolling through knives that I bought at Blade Show West. I'm getting down to the close to the end now, and this is one that has been around for a while. You may recognize it. It's a Begg Knives design, and I was at the booth looking at all their stuff. Most of what I was seeing there wasn't even available to buy at this time, but they did have a couple of these. I'd seen this on Apex Alchemy, Billy and Courtney's channel. You should check them out. And more recently, they've talked about this knife for another reason that we're going to get into just a little bit. He's got more information if you want to get into it more deeply. And a couple other people have done videos related to this as well. But this knife is one of their, I guess, popular designs from Begg Knives. And it may have been, I know it was designed by Todd Begg, and that there are more upscaled versions of this. This is the much more inexpensive version. I actually got this $60 in the show, but I think it's $70 on their website. And this is the mini glimpse. There's also a larger version. I think it's only like maybe a 3.5-inch blade. This one is the 3-inch blade, and it's like 2.25 cutting edge. Usually not my size that I like to get in knives, but I do have smaller knives, so it's not like it's unheard of, but I tend to go with a little bit larger knife. But they had this one at the show, and I did want to check out their stuff. And because I'd gone to their booth and I was talking to somebody there, I don't know if it's one of the Begg brothers. I guess Todd Begg is the one that does the custom work, and then there's a brother, John Begg, and that's what I understand. I may be off on some of this information. I'm just kind of looking things up, googling it a little bit. Apparently, there was like a lawsuit between Todd Begg and Begg Knives. I guess there's two different companies where Todd Begg is selling his custom stuff, and maybe I don't know if he does production stuff. Don't know a lot about it. Begg Knives seems to be more of the production stuff. Probably, I think they're more Chinese-made knives. So American company getting their stuff OEM'd over in China, and some of them apparently are Todd Begg's designs. I don't know if they're getting designs from other people. Definitely at the table, they had some interesting looking prototypes, not for sale, but made me kind of interested in the company. So I picked this one up. This is just your basic knife. I don't remember what the steel is. Maybe I'll look it up real quick. But I believe it's D2. I'm going to go with that. I think it's this one is a D2 knife. So I like that blade steel, but it's not one of your big premium ones. And like I said, mini glimpse. It's got a cool kind of design, very nice look. I mean, I like the look of it. Like I said, the size is a little bit smaller than what I would normally get, but it feels good in hand. Definitely for this size knife, it's got a lot to offer. It's G10 handles, these scales. One of my main complaints with this design would be that it's very slick. The G10 is just very slick. It doesn't have any grip at all. As I move up and down here, I'm just sliding across there. It's not that bad. It does have the little maybe ceramic ball on the clip. Seems to work pretty well. Lots of this kind of this backspacer with jimping integrated into it, and then the liner lock also has a lot of jimping, and it does stand up, so that makes it really easy to open and close. You got good access to the lock bar, and you get that jimping. And the jimping also can work if you're holding it here or here. You're catching your finger with that jimping, so it all works for that. Now let's get into some of the drama, especially lately. Mentioned that there was some argument over copyrights with the two brothers and a couple of the partners for Begg Knives. But more recently, there was this Harbor Freight knife that came out. And some of the channels have bought them. I don't really have one myself. I didn't buy it, but I was going to bring up a picture of it. Just hold on for a second. Got to log into the girlfriend's iPad. Here it is. All right, so hopefully that's coming through okay in the camera. It looks like it's kind of shining up a little bit. But if I hold them up next to each other, you can see very similar. You can see Icon is the name on here. I guess that's a tool brand that is sold at Harbor Freight. And apparently, from everything I've heard, there was like a little bit of a rumor that maybe they licensed the design, but it does sound more along the lines of that they, just some company in China took it and copied it. And it's definitely got the hollow grind, which is great on this blade. It's really nice. Let me see if I got another shot of it here. It's got a similar pocket clip as far as the shape is concerned, and the lanyard hole, but it doesn't have the ball here. This carbon fiber kind of inlay thing, I believe that is on the more expensive version of this design, the one that's several $100s. Like I say, I don't know. This one's definitely the budget version, but very similar design. And everybody's been talking about whether this is what you would call a clone. If we go back to this photo, you can see that they're not trying to say, whereas this one has the Begg Knives symbol on it. This one does say Icon, and it does say D2 steel. So I believe that's the same steel. Let me look that up real quick. Just give me a second. It is D2. Yes. So, yeah, they both come in D2. This one has the hole, so you're kind of losing that kind of cool factor with this one. But a lot of people are saying that actually some people are saying that this finger choil is a little bit better on the version from Harbor Freight, because if you're in here, you're going to have to kind of trigger pull on that thing. They say you can actually get your finger in on this one from Harbor Freight, and they're saying, well, this is a $40 knife at Harbor Freight, whereas this is more like a $70 knife. And this one is maybe a little bit longer, maybe 3 1/4, something like that. But yeah, so that's the big debate, and whether or not they can file a lawsuit or what they can do about it. But anyway, one comment that I heard, cutlery. Oh, what was the name of that channel? Cutlery Lever, I think it is. Did a good video on this where he actually had the blade from Harbor Freight, and he was talking about how Harbor Freight is basically copies of everything. All their tools are copies. And so he's saying, I mean, what can you expect? And if these other tool companies aren't able to do a lawsuit, it's probably not going to happen here. So, that's the thing. That's what's going on in the world today. I mean, especially with a lot of knives being made over in China, it kind of means that they have access to these designs, and it makes it that much easier for them to reverse engineer or just take a modified version of it and put a different brand name on it. But from what I've heard, it's actually a decent knife. As far as Harbor Freight knives are concerned, it's one of the higher end versions of them. I personally didn't buy it and wouldn't buy it from Harbor Freight, but I wouldn't say people are terrible for buying it there. Certainly, when I was originally buying tools, I started working in the office at my job, and then got moved out into the test department, and all of a sudden I needed a bunch of tools, and I loved Harbor Freight for that. And I would buy just all kinds of cheap tools. And then after I broke the tool, then I would go to Sears or somewhere else to get a higher version of that tool. But it was just really handy to have them. And even now, as far as my knife cases are concerned, I'm using the Apache knife cases, which is basically kind of a rip-off of the Pelican. And wow, it's so much less expensive, and they really work pretty good. So I can't say that I haven't taken advantage of the fact that Harbor Freight puts out inexpensive stuff, and if you need to do a job and you want a tool that you're not going to use a whole lot, but you need something that will work for that particular thing, that might be the best option. And not everybody can afford to get snap-on tools or things like that. Not everybody can afford to get a custom Todd Begg knife. So I mean, we all have our means that we're working in. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to leave it to everybody to make their own decisions. I have lines that I won't cross. I won't buy this Icon knife, but that's partially because I'm a knife collector, and I want to get, especially now, I'm trying to buy more knives that mean more and have some more specialness to them, rather than just buying a knife just to have a knife to cut with. So I'll leave it up to the individual people. I don't like to judge, and I understand different people's perspectives. So you make up your own mind. You decide what you want to do. You have to live with your decision, and I'm not going to be bad mouthing you. So anyway, that's a quick video. Begg Knives, drama behind it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.